I was very instrumental with even Silk Boss when him just started out too, you know. Popcaan was the first youth where it's a protocol, you know. I say youth, you have whole potential. Nobody at all can tell Masicka if you do him the tech program. Him do him feel like.
How are you and Nuffy right now?
Nuffy's a man confused. You see what I say? Him turn selector. Nuffy is just a man who don't know himself right now.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Muscle, and this is another Two Line Music Cuts Entertainment Report podcast. And today, we have a really special guest. Listen, you usually see him in the background, floating around, doing his stuff, but this time we actually get to sit down and talk to him. He's a manager, a road manager, and a producer, booking agent, and so much more. You know, we have in the building today, we have Protocol Boss in the building today. What's going on, big boss? Everything's good.
Yeah, man, it's a pleasure, man. They are in the 6, you know.
You understand? You see, the funny thing with it is a few artists I've had, he's the one that brought them over to the studio and stuff, but now I actually have you in the hot seat right now talking, you understand?
Yeah, man, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's been a long time, you know what I mean? And I must say I respect the work that you're doing, you know, for the entire community of Toronto, you know what I mean, and the diaspora overall, you know what I mean. You know, each episode really contribute towards the music, you know. So respect again, and it's a pleasure to be here, you know.
Definitely means a lot coming from somebody like you that's so intertwined in the music and plays so many roles and wears so many hats. That really means a lot coming from somebody like you, Proto, bro.
Yeah, man, definitely, my brother.
You understand?
You know what I mean? Yeah, man, definitely.
I know you're original St. Catharines, man. What part of St. Catharines?
Place named Bagwalk.
Yes, man. They used to keep enough dance out there.
Yeah, Bagwalk, St. Catherine, you know what I mean? So we're growing up the music, actually, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, but, you know, we're growing up in a Bagwalk, Church Road to be exact, you know what I mean? And we see a life where we decide from a tender age that education is really the pathway to eradicate, you know, this type of living, you know what I mean? Or that type of living rather. So, you know, I was the fastest learner at a tender age, you know what I mean? But I went to Linseed Primary, then I went to Yorton High School, then I got a football scholarship to go to Dintil Technical High School. That's where the entire thing changed, you know what I mean? And I left Dintil with 16 CXE, subject and cape.
How
you know
much?
What I mean? 16. Yeah, I mean, so, you know what I mean? You know, and a lot of people don't even know I was a police officer too, you know what I mean?
Hold on, we soon. You're Russian, we soon get there. Yeah, I mean, you won a lot of stuff. So then now, as you said, graduated 16 subjects and stuff. When did music enter your life? Did you like music from back then? You're trying to play yourself. Then really, when did music start to come around for you?
From a tender age, you know, from about 14 years old, you know, we used to thief out of the house and go Mad Friday. It's to keep a church road, you know what I mean? And you know, in the community itself, you always have, you know, sound system of play every day or every other night. You know what I mean? So from a tender age, but again, you know, I grew with strict parents, you know. So they really have to focus on the educational side of things, you know what I mean? But I've always been doing the music, but not professionally still probably about 8 years now, 9 years now, you know.
So even then now, did you, after you finish school and leave with 6 years up, did you get into working? Did you start to pursue music? What was your next move right after finishing school?
Went to college, you know, get a degree in environmental science, you know what I mean? And then I decided that, you know, after seeing my parents work so hard, you know, my dad used to run taxi and so forth, I decided I have to do a job that can, you know, make them feel proud, you know, and break that generational curse. And, you know, with that, you know, I went to St. Kitts. I mean, I remember when I just finished college, I actually was on a flight to New York, and then I met a superintendent that was actually in the force, you know what I mean? And then that's how the connection with us on the plane attack and thing, and, you know, I applied for the job, and I became a police in St. Kitts.
Okay, so how did you even end up in St. Kitts in the first place?
You know, I just take the risk.
Yeah.
I just flew to St. Kitts, applied for the job, was there. I don't know anybody in St. Kitts, you know what I mean? And I was actually sleeping, before I got the job, I was sleeping in a 1 bedroom boardhouse with one of my friends, big up Zavi, you know what I mean? And, just a trying you want to make mom and dad proud. I remember a youth that just finished college, you know what I mean? But just the eager to achieve that really brought me to St. Kitts, and I became a police serve there, even have a son there as I speak, you know what I mean? So St. Kitts is really one of my, well, actually, my third home now.
So even with that, how come you didn't say, okay, apply to the JCF in Jamaica or sometime?
I mean, that was in the making, but I guess the calling was just for St. Kitts base. I know it happened, and just left college. Everything just happened, and the opportunity arise, and we just take it with 2 hands. You know what I mean? And it really molds me to be a better individual. To be honest, you see it.
For sure. And so you weren't doing anything in music before you left Jamaica to head to St. Kitts?
Yeah, man. We've been doing it. Big up Tippy. It started, Tippy Protocol. It started from sampling. Bagwak, where we just always eager to do the music. So we used to go town, Pambosco, doing the park, check Queen Ifrica, the studio. We used to promote for Rebel Salute at that time, you know what I mean? And I produce for Queen Ifrica, you know what I mean? I do road management work for Queen Ifrica at that time, you know what I mean? So we always try to keep a balance, but we never get that break. The game, you know what I mean?
Okay,
but,
so you're tipping around, seeing what's good, but you didn't get her at that time there. But even somebody like Queen Ifrica, how do you connect with Queen Ifrica? You're not going to just go to her house and say, hey, I'm here, let me work.
I met Queen Ifrica at Ninja Man's birthday party at Turk River Park, you know what I mean? Because my uncle is Joe Wax. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I brought Joe Wax to Ninja Man concert. You know what I mean? Because as an educated nephew, I would know a little thing. I was so eager about it. That's Zebra father. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was managing Joe Wax and still covering all of the things with him too. So that's where I kind of get the foundation of the music to understand the music. So I met Queen Ifrica there, and she was just amazed by my professionalism. You know what I mean? And that's how the whole thing started. You know what I mean? So Queen Ifrica really gave me that belief in the game. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So big up to Queen Ifrica every single time. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And did you start to fly with her, or was just more local stuff you were doing with her at that time?
At the time, I was doing a lot of local stuff, you know what I mean? Because Queen Ifrica is the type of person you have to prove it. You have to prove your worth, So we're just doing a lot of local stuff until she actually see and realize that, the youth are really serious, which is me and Tippy that work at the time. So big up Tippy too, you know what I mean? We're not good now, but I'm a youth who grew up with, and it would have been sad to dare and don't really mention him he's a part of my legacy, you know what I mean? Yeah, that I'm building, for real.
For sure. So then you're here doing your stuff, decided, okay, take a chance in St. Kitts, of every place you could think of in the world. Just say, okay, let me take a chance. You went there and you applied for this job. And how long did it take for you to get onto the police force?
I want to tell somebody think it's about 3 months straight. I thought it would have been like a good 2 weeks process. And I've been there for like 3 months. I mean, no job. You know what I mean? And at the time I was waiting on Jamaica to send the police record clearance. So I was there just roaming. And I want to tell you that, like, me get innovative too. So, cruise ship come and St. Kitts every time. People here to laugh. So, the mind, so I just start, remember, I don't know St. Kitts, So I start research the buildings, them, the historical buildings, them, and the sites and so forth. And when the tourists came off the cruise, I used to be at Port Zante, and me used to walk the tourists, take them to the site and show them. That's how I used to make a few dollars until, you know what I mean? So we out there, we have to find a way, cause we have to eat, you know what I mean? And until I got the call, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. So that's how the whole thing starts.
Okay. I know the part that you're talking about in St. Kitts, because when we were on a cruise, probably it wasn't it was 2024.
Yeah.
Stopped in St. Kitts. That's where like a big pink building.
Yeah, and the man come up with the monkey and so forth. So everybody have creative ideas. So me, all the time, I can show you around. So I used to take the tourists and show them around, show them the church.
You say no car, it's just straight foot.
Straight foot.
Yeah.
Straight foot. You know what I mean? And it worked for me at the time. That's how I could have actually survived, you know what I mean? And, the Jamaican community there, I must give a big shout out to them too. You know what I mean? 'Cause, I play soccer too. And I found Canary Playfield where the Jamaicans congregate on every Sunday. So we used to go there and, play ball. So we kind of build a little camaraderie there and thing and, 1 and 2 link and, yeah, man. And big up Neko at the barber shop on Church Street there, you know what I mean? So that's how the whole thing started and, yeah, man.
It seemed like from early you recognized that you could use your education, even if it wasn't for directly what it was for, you could use the things that you learned and do other things with it. You could use your smarts and make a way with it.
Yeah, man, definitely. I used to sell in the market.
Yeah.
I used to get, people used to discriminate me, you know what I mean? Big up my grandma, RIP to her, you know what I mean? She died when in 2019 from the COVID, but I used to, from primary school, go every Saturday, every Friday to Lincoln Market to sell. Anybody know Lincoln Market, know Mama Muzi, so Mama Bev. So me used to go sell, like for me from a tender age, being a provider is always my thing. So I have to get this money here. Me used to sell on the market, me used to sell candy at festivals. You know what I mean? I mean, you go back to school the next Monday morning, people laugh off of you, but we just always have that drive within me. You know what I mean?
Also, make things happen.
Yes,
move.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Moving and shaking. All right, St. Kitts now. You finally get the call. You join the force now. What did you join as a normal police? What type of officer did you join the force as?
Constable.
Constable.
I joined as a constable and I left as a constable. You know what I mean? My stint was like 3.5 years.
Yeah. What was it like now being an officer in somewhere like St. Kitts? Because again, as a tourist, we come and see, we know it's a smaller place. What was it really like from your eyes as an officer?
Tough. It was tough, but I was very respected. You know what I mean? I was a very respected officer. Anybody know me. They used to call me Jump Out, they used to call me Yardie because I was very serious, and I used to work in the special service unit. But I always give the youth some hope. You know, I mean, I save a lot of people's life. I save a lot of persons from going to prison because sometimes the youths, them really just need a chance. And they do what they do because they have a family to feed. So sometimes, understand. So one of the biggest thing I learned that being a police officer is discretion. You know what I mean? So even to this day, a lot of youth were used to in the street have my number, they call me and say, yo, you changed my life, you know what I mean? So I think with that, I can say I have contributed positively towards the society, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
Right there. And when you say the special services, what exactly is that then?
So you call it SSU, which is a special service unit. So that's where you target gangs, you target, drug dealers, you deal with more violent crime.
So it was more, if I could relate it to what I could, were you more like on the task force or something?
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
Okay, so you weren't patrolling just every day. It's like when there's an assignment, then you go on the road and go take care of business.
Yeah, well, you have a shift. You have a shift. We used to work like, think like 7 to 7 in the morning, but you always on call. You're working in that unit, you're always on call. Yeah, so you always have to prepare mentally and physically, you know what I mean? Yeah.
What would you say was a couple of the wildest nights you're in St. Kitts here as an officer on the SSU?
I remember a shootout in St. Paul's. I forgot that night. Yeah, but there was a shootout in St. Paul's. It was a crazy night, you know what I mean? We got the intel and, the 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that night that night really showed me that I know shit really, And in St. Kitts, I mean, I must big up the government now. They really rally around and get the violence down. But at that time, like when homicide occurring in St. Kitts is middle day, like middle day, like at that time,
Yeah.
my middle day. But no, St. Kitts is one of the most peaceful island in the region right now. You know what I mean?
St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yeah, and Nevis, they work assiduously hard. Government work assiduously hard. And I must big up the police officers that go beyond the call of duty to really serve, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, sometimes with limited resources too, you know what I mean? But, yeah, man.
Okay, I asked. Okay, give me one more wild incident or wild night while being an officer.
Probably, you know what? A night we got a call with a guy, I think he's in prison right now. He killed his sister. We'll get the call, but by the time we get the call, he would have already taken his sister into the mountain. So we started to look for the sister from that night to about 3 days straight. I think that was actually a wild hunt too, you know what I mean? Yeah, that was actually a wild hunt too. And I remember when there was 2 homicide one night, one in St. Peter's and one in Shadwell, you know. Yeah, man, we'll go through it, man.
Yeah.
There was some wild nights. And you don't know, you have in Carnival too. You have the way they jam and dance, sometimes. And the gangsters, them know from different communities, that's the time when they really come in the city. So, working in the unit that I'm working in, you have to be on point. Because fight just broke out, you know what I mean? But it's a safe place.
Yeah.
So all the tourists, it's a safe place. St. Kitts, I love St. Kitts. It's
No,
a safe
St.
place.
Kitts
It's
is
not
very,
just,
very nice.
I'm just reminiscing on the past, but
Yeah.
it's a safe place. I love St. Kitts. I love the people. They're lovely. They support me. They really they give me a start as a Jamaican that went there. And they give a lot of Jamaicans and people from the region a chance. So big up to St. Kitts all the time.
For sure. And a night or incident where you had to where you said you saved someone or you put someone back on the right path, or something where you did that really deterred them from not really going to jail, or you might have sent them to jail and that saved them. Something where you could remember one incident in particular.
Yeah, definitely. I went to a search. I was patrolling one night in St. Peter's, and I searched a gentleman. We stop and check and search a gentleman, and we found some weed. I found some cocaine on him, and obviously, and some money, some US dollars and some EC dollars. And he looked at me and said, "Yadi, bye. Me really, my daughter sick, and there's something I want to do. If me get a job, I don't do it no more." And I remember when I went and speak to the manager at Ram's supermarket, down in Bass there, and get him a job. And I never locked him up that night. I took away the drugs, we made a report, on it, wrote it down, we submit the drugs, and I got him the job. And to this day, he's actually working there.
Okay.
So that for me, was one of them moments that we can say, yes, I did my shift.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not just about locking up somebody, you know what I mean?
You want to make a change in somebody's life. Sometimes it's them going to jail.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just you putting them on the right path. But you want to make that change.
Definitely. So that was one of the moments for me that really, stand out.
Yeah.
Man, for sure.
Definitely did your time. You said you did about 3.5 years or
Yeah.
so. Okay, so then why did you end up leaving the force?
The music. After a while, you have to evaluate yourself, and when I balance the income and the expenditure, it just wasn't adding up, And I sat down one night and I was like, I gave my parents, I made my parents proud by giving them, what they would want any of their child to do, which is to become something good of themselves. And I say, it's time to do me. You know what I mean? But whatever I do, I still want to make them proud. So I just decided that, I was going to move to Canada. Big up my brother, for giving me the opportunity to come to Canada. And then when I come to Canada, that was the next story. Because transition from being a police to civilization was really rough on me mentally, you know what I mean?
Why? Explain to me why you'd say that.
With all the training that you go through, you know what I mean, and the things that you would have encountered, getting back to a normal life wasn't the easiest. I've been to a lot of psychologists and things, and trust me, mostly it was tough. It was tough, even now. Sometimes me wake up 2-3 o'clock in the morning, I look at the pillow, I wonder where my firearm is, So a lot of flashbacks sometimes, is it? So the transition is not easy, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But thank God for music. You know what I mean?
So was it so? Okay, so you came to Canada to pursue music.
Yeah, well, I actually came to Canada for a life, a better life, actually, and I make good and bad at the same time. You see, yeah, and I started a landscaping company in Canada, and when I started, a matter of fact, before even that, I came here, and I started to work at a factory.
Okay. Yeah.
When I started to work when I was staying with my brother, we fall out a little bit, and I had to leave this place. I don't know where. I didn't have nowhere to go, so I had nowhere to go. Snow, them time the snow tall, so like lot of snow at that time, and now I have nowhere to go. And then big up Nicola from Scarborough, she came for me in Guelph. Because I was in Guelph at the time.
You were in Guelph,
You know what I'm saying? No, I said Guelph,
Yeah. Wow.
I was in Guelph, Ontario at the time. She came for me, and she assisted me somewhere to stay in Mississauga, And I remember when I just bought a $600 car and get to work at the factory. When I got to work at the factory, I was working at the factory double time because, I wanted to achieve something. And then one night it was snowing, and then I left work and was going to the plaza to stay and chill in the car for a moment, because I was basing the car here and there. And then the tire burst around Etobicoke near to the racehorse track, and who know there?
By Woodbine.
Yes, by Woodbine. Now it's dark at night, and it's snow. And then I tried to jack up the car, and the jack break. The car dropped on my finger. I got like 9 stitches, and from then I never work a 9 to 5 because I called the next day to the factory and like, yo, I got injured last night, and they were like, yo, I'm so sorry, man, but we have to move on.
They didn't care.
They didn't care. So at that time I was like, wow, what am I gonna do,
And how long were you in Canada at this time when all of this had happened?
Probably just about 7 months.
So not even a year.
Not even a year at that time. And honestly, Muscle, the next morning, I go to the hospital and bandage up, man, I was like, yo, what am I gonna do? And then I said, I'm gonna sell my car, I'm gonna start landscaping. Construction, I'll start landscaping. And I don't have any tools. I had the fundamental background, but I don't have the tools. So I went on the marketplace and I see, where they sell the different supplies and different stores. And, I said, all right, man, I'll start I drive to the stores, take the pictures of the materials.
Yeah.
I start to post, say, I'm selling these materials. So I will get the prices for the material and I add on my little thing on it. And I started that business with $50 Canadian,
What?
Till I have like 5 trucks, crazy, employ over 8 people, so that's the transition, and that's just the determination and spirit that I have, They're very determined to make this work,
And when you came up, you never wanted to probably try join the police force up here, or policing was out of your mind at this time here now?
I was battling with depression at the time. Also. So being a police officer was out of it. I just wanted to settle and get something out of life, achieve something out of life. So I was battling with a lot of depression at the time, And so I start the company, sell the car, $600 car, bought a $1,500 van. You know what I mean? Because I bought the car for $600 and I sold it for I think about like 12. Make up the money, buy a van and start sell material. Yeah. So I remember the first call I got was to do a gardening job. They wanted mulch, they wanted soil, muscle. I don't have no money to buy the material. But I woke up and I went to the customer and said, normally I wanted to see my face because normally I have to get a deposit. They gave me the deposit. I have no tool,
Yeah.
But God made it that the person who called me for my first job was an ex-landscaper that has a backyard full of tools. So that's where I got the start, I mean? I give you some tools and, you know what I mean? You still have to act like you've been in the game a long time. So,
like
and I stood there and I did a fabulous job. And from there, the thing just got crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just start moving. So
Just
then,
start moving.
when did you start to really venture back into music then now?
So I started to venture into music as soon as I started to get back some money. I started to, just buy rhythm, start to make back connect with my old talents them, that I've been around from then time there, you know what I mean? And then that's how I start, you know what I mean? And then, I was going through some immigration stuff at the time and, get that started out. Big up to everybody who contributed towards that, you know what I mean? A big respect to everybody, the lawyers, every single person that contributed to me being here today, like it never went unnoticed, you know what I mean?
So it took time to get your immigration stuff together. So
Yeah.
you're dealing with a lot of stuff simultaneously.
Time, man. Just imagine you leave the police force, your youth just born at the time, what a scar. What a scare, what a depression me really go through, you know what I mean? And when we look back on the journey, we just have to give thanks, you know what I mean?
For sure. Because as I introduced, I said road manager, producer, booking agent, all this. Then now Canada, what was the first, you say you're buying rhythm and stuff, so the first thing you did up here was producing?
Yeah, producing. So start produce, I was very instrumental with even Silk Bass when he just started out too, a couple years ago.
I think it was a song, Surgery.
Yeah, Surgery. Yeah.
That's
man.
one of his biggest songs to this day, boss.
Yeah, I want to say I don't even get $1 from it.
What do you mean?
Yeah, me not get nothing. Me not get no royalty, nothing. And that's what really opened my eye to, like, I've been doing so much, and I realize that my youth are come grow, and me have to speak up now. And then I start listening to Tyrical. I want my own. By Tyrical, I decided to say, man, anything in the music, I need it. People need to know what you're doing. I'm not hide no more. That's why I'm there. So today I represent for the music, I represent for the brand. You know what I mean? Because that was a youth record. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I seen it the other day. It's up to like either 13, 14, or 15 million views.
Yeah, man.
On YouTube, guys.
Yeah, man. It was a huge record, man. And I broke that record in England first. Because I did a proper rollout for it, and that record was broke. That record got popular in England before it even got popular in Jamaica. Big up to Danny Bless. And Eva Sasha and Juju them from England. You know what I mean? That really gave it. At that time, them a run the social media. Danny Bless, really helped break that song. You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
So your thing was more you helping on the production whatsoever, but then you had some link with some social media, or you looked at social media and see what was going on, and you figured this is how you could fit in.
Yeah. And that's when I started to. So after all the RD with Silk Bass, big up Silk Bass too. You know what I mean? A good youth. Because he never knew nothing about it too. You know what I mean? It was just, and the producer even linked me and my partner who actually produced the song, linked me and said, bro, I did you injustice, and I apologize. So that for me was, really good. So we in the paperwork right now. I try to get the thing in order right now to get the thing going, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's when I started to book talent now, for sure.
Okay, so then you got into like, this is where you now became a booking agent. And how did you even learn to be a booking agent?
Also sometime, may I tell you, something just come. The inspiration just followed up.
Yeah.
It's like me, whatever it takes to feed my family, man. Like me, I go to it, you know. So like Sharon Williams, I must give her credit too, because me used to have the connect, but we don't know. But so I remember I linked Sharon Williams one time. I was like, yo, you know, say this festival, Frankie's Music Festival,
Okay.
came about, and I said, Sharon Williams, you know, so this festival will go on now, and Moyann get some talent for Sharon. At that time, Sharon was booking the festival long before me even exist.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And you know, Sharon Williams really wrote me my first contract and showed me how it's done. So I cannot be here and don't big up Sharon Williams. You know, like big her up. You know, she really started the thing. You know, you know what I mean, and every day.
Okay, so that was your two initial contacts after. Okay, yeah, in Jamaica, you're linked with Ifrica,
Yeah.
Rebel Salute and stuff. But then now when you started to get back into it, it was Heavy D and Sharon Williams.
Yeah, and you know, book several artists for the show. I mean, a matter of fact, and this is exclusive. I am the first. I was the person who booked Burna Boy for the festival, and that's how Byron Messiah ended up linked with Burna Boy in St. Kitts to get that Taliban remix. So you see the whole connection there is my real contribution, and I remember spending like 3 months muscle calling LA, UTA, Christian on the phone, and they wondered, who is this youth? Like, who is this youth so determined to, you know, I've never seen, they're like, yo, and this is UTA, you know, I've never seen a agent so determined to book a talent yet.
And this was to book Burna Boy.
Burna Boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We just said Burna Boy because it just come hand in hand now. So Byron Messiah could get such a huge record. I mean, the record was already huge, you know, but Burna Boy could make it even bigger.
So you didn't have any links to Burna Boy?
No links. Just Google who's booking Burna Boy, you know what I mean? And then I remember DMing Burna Boy mom, and she forwarded me the contact, you know, to proceed. And you know, Alicia, you know, my friend in St. Kitts, big her up all the time. She, you know, assists me a little bit too in showing me the process, you know. And that's when the things just start. I was like, yo, this is possible, man.
Yeah.
If me can book Burna Boy and get a contract from Burna Boy or for Burna Boy, this is it.
It's possible.
It's possible. And from then, like 90% of dancehall my book.
Enough of them.
Enough dancehall artists me put food on them plate every single day since then.
Because who I remember seeing you involved with some way somehow was Popcaan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Big up Popcaan. You know what, man? Popcaan are the first youth one of the first youth them with the protocol, you know. I say youth, you have whole potential, you know. And I met Popcaan in St. Kitts when I was a police. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
man.
where you originally met him.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's where I met him. And just see the journey and say, yo, yeah, police, and him see my big thing for my waist, and he must say, yo, you, me proud of you, you know what I mean? And you know, it transitioned from there until him come Canada, move come to Canada, and him keep the link, and Popcaan came around Drake. Popcaan but me meet Drake. Popcaan can't go to Drake yard. Him can't go OVO Fest. Be a superstar. You know what I mean? Me there at Drake yard, downstairs, be a champagne. Everybody give me champagne. That's something I said, no, me think tough now.
Yeah.
At this time I said, no, this is music. That's where I said, no, this is music, muscle. Be a superstar. Nicki Minaj agree with me. And don't, you know?
Yeah.
And I said, no, this is me. So big up Popcaan. It really, you know, give me that exposure and it never went unnoticed, you know.
So were you doing anything in any professional capacity with Popcaan? Was just more your linking with Popcaan?
No, we just a link with Popcaan. At the time, we just a link with Popcaan. You know, if there's a show connect, we link up with the relative authority and get it connect. But I just my G, you know. Yeah, man, I'm just believe, you know, Popcaan's a youth where him can see youth and just believe in them and just know, see, yo, the youth there have something special about him. You know what I mean? So, me really have a big up Popcaan for that, you know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Definitely link with Popcaan. First link was Queen Ifrica, got Burner Boy, St. Kitts and stuff. So then now, how do you link with Byron Messiah right now?
Byron, when I was a police again, Byron was just a youth. You know, St. Kitts, I got a school, brilliant youth. You know, I go college. So I know Byron from St. Kitts days, you know. You know, I always show them love. It go back to being respectful, you know. So when him thing kick off now, I made the first youth voice by Byron, you know. In a St. Kitts, you know, when Byron voice for me, you know, upon him phone, him record the song, you know. When I sent him the rhythm, he recorded it on his phone and sent it back to me the same day I gave him the rhythm. You know, I know I see this, I must say, oh, I really think, you know. And from them time, I believe in a Byron, I say, youth, you have it. But from Byron was about 16, 17, he was the biggest star in St. Kitts.
No, that's what I heard. A lot of people that don't really know, they think it's the Taliban's. Taliban's
man,
is what made us know him. But before that, he's big.
He was already big in St. Kitts, man, doing major platform, and you have a big up youth like I Mark too, you know, R.I.P. to him. You know what I mean? He was one of the youth them where bring on them youth up on stage in St. Kitts. You know? So when I was in St. Kitts, them youth they did powerful. As a little young youth, you know, getting bookings at 17, 18, you know, some of the biggest festival them and the events them in St. Kitts, like White Sands, the festival itself. You know what I mean? So that's when the connection the connection really built from them time then. But when him think tough now, I remember link him and say, yo, protocol? We have say we have to link up. You know what I mean? And I first time I brought him to England on an England tour.
On an England tour?
Yeah, I brought him to England and I can tell you that Byron thing is not normal.
And this was when Taliban's had boss already this
time. Yeah, man, boss already. Yeah. So when he boss already and thing, we went to Europe like twice. You know, me and Byron, we went Australia, we went Cyprus, and I can tell you, he may not be the hottest artist now in the diaspora, but put any hot artist in the diaspora in Europe now, they can't hold him. Put any hot artist in like, you know, certain part of South America, they can't hold him. That's when we know the music is bigger than what we see, because every artist have different niche market that, trust me, you know, you don't want to perform in a Costa Rica before Maca Diamond. You know what I mean? So you have to understand certain market, and because of that, I understand. And when I manage artists now, when I see the lineup, I can say, you know, you don't want the person that worked before you, you know, because I learn them craft even from every day. Remember, Nuffy say I'm a teacher, you know. Nuffy can't be my teacher. My teacher is a professor, which is every day.
Yeah.
You know, so in music, I don't deal with teacher, a professor, I deal with. You know what I mean? So Nuffy can't be my teacher. That's why I can't tell her that, you know what I mean?
I got some stuff I want to ask about Nuffy, but we're not ready yet. We're soon reach there. So who was the first artist that you started to actually manage them? Because you're doing roadie and stuff like that, you're producing. So who was the first one you said, okay, management now?
We used to manage a youth from New York named Muggs. You know, brilliant youth. I think 2026 is going to be, you know, is one to look out for. That's where I really can see, oh, you know, me I go, you know, manage the youth, you know, on a professional level. You know what I mean? And then Byron came about, you know, big up Kells, that really gave me the opportunity to kind of co-manage him, and in the absence of him, kind of just give me the free will to kind of just get certain things done, from a managerial perspective. So I really have to give the people the credit who give me the opportunity to say, lead. I see the potential, lead and get the thing done, you know what I mean? And that's where it really starts out,
Was from there. So managing him, managing, producing. Do you produce any songs that you produced so far really made it big so far, or you're still trying to figure out that part there?
Still figuring it out. Our song we still have royalty coming every month. Nothing where we can say huge, but we do a lot of work with a lot of artists where every month we still have local royalty coming every quarter, So and it's just in that aspect it's a work in progress,
I know even in your production journey at one time you had a slight issue with Tentic. And I mean it came in the paper and stuff, paid him XYZ, it didn't work out. What had happened with that situation?
God. I'm a grown man. And big up Tentic. First, I'm going to say this. Big up Tentic. I think probably I would just say it's a misunderstanding from his side, I think. When he came to Toronto, I paid him to do the record. He started the record. He gave me a time in which he's going to complete the record. Never completed it. But understanding the game now, I understand the artist can be busy. Sometimes you say I'll do something and it not happen the time when it's supposed to happen. So I kind of understand that now. You know what I mean? So that was the thing. He never get it done. When we reach out to him, it was like, yo, we are running me down for, I quote, you're hungry. So that was kind of the thing when I said, John, star. I know the journey of Canada, I work so hard, and you know what I mean? I really try to get back a foot in, and I think it was the same surgery with him. And I if he advised that with him, I know it would have been a hit.
Yeah.
I'm not ask. You know what I mean? Because it was destined to be a hit. But I'm gonna say we passed them stage and we focus on the bigger price. So I mean, me forgive Tentic long time and move on. So big up Tentic and I wish him all the best in his entire career, you know what I mean?
Definitely. And then this is where, to me, where you now really stepped into the big leagues. When you started to link with Masicka, boss. All right?
Ja.
How did that link even come around? Because remember, this is next level. Yes, Byron has his stuff right through the place, But you see, Masicka is a more established act at this point here now.
Yeah.
You understand with this stuff going on and stuff like big up man like Kaba and them man. You understand?
Big up Kaba, man.
Of
Liam
course,
Brown, you know what I mean? And my brother that in real life, him also give me the opportunity to be around the thing and lead, But the connection start with Shane Skull. I mean, before then, me used to book a lot of show for Masicka. And then the camp was like, yo, all the youth that we are coming with so much show. Like, I know the prominent, the well-known agents them. But all the young youth that come with so much show, and also deal with things so professional, you know what I mean? And then, Shane Skull, my G, so him really connect me and bring me around the swamp in a different level, because Shane Skull is the right hand for the swamp. I am one of the man where he'll build the swamp, build the thing from nothing, from scratch. Shane Skull. You know what I mean? So my brother that in real life, and I just want to tell him on the podcast how much I appreciate him, you know what I mean? Because sometimes we don't give them the glory them really deserve, So him really bring me around the thing and solidify the thing. And once Masicka see I already see how professional I am, and I do the thing, and I bring in work, and I'm not a liability. Him to say I'm an asset to the whole thing, and me I link with Shane Skull bring me another thing. So that as them saying at the swamp, I get my immunization card right away. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So big up the whole swamp, man. Is it?
Yeah. And how long you been working with them, like on the inside now?
About 3 years.
About 3 years now?
Yeah. About 3 years now.
Because a lot of times, if people are going to go back and look at these pictures, you'll see it's usually the traveling that I see, it's usually Masicka, Kaba, yourself, Shane Skull, and
Razzie.
Masicka calls him engineer.
Yeah, Razzie.
You understand? That's usually the cap there. You see guys everywhere. And again, you're not, a lot of the pictures, you're not really posed in them, but they catch you in them if you look. So, I'm talking anywhere you could think of the whole of the Caribbean, the States, wherever, Canada, wherever you could think about, and you seen Masicka, believe you me, you seen him in those pictures there too, or in the videos.
Yeah, man. I have to respect Masicka for that and give him praise, for your youth, no know him from nowhere and just give me the opportunity, him see the potential and give the opportunity. And Masicka respect hard work. So you can't run Masicka if you don't have a purpose. So that's why I rate him. The thing about it now, I know if you differentiate Javan Ferran from Masicka. You know what I mean? So I never get complacent. In the swamp, you never get complacent. Never yet. I get up every day and work. I show up every day, even from my lowest. And I think that's what makes me who I am today. You know what I mean? I think that's what gives me the edge in the swamp too. You know what I mean? So, man, big up everybody in the swamp. Every single person.
Remember, the swamp is a deadly place, Anything can happen anytime in the swamp, boss.
Yeah, man, the swamp water never clean. Never clean, you know what I mean? That's why you always have to be ready. You know what I mean? And Masicka teach me that.
What's it like to work with an artist like Masicka? What is he really like as an artist?
Masicka always at work. And what Masicka showed me the blueprint. Not only for the music, but for life. And when I sit down and reason with him every single day, Masicka don't even discuss people. Masicka is a man I just music him a deal with. Music and him money. And that Masicka deal with every single day and him family. You know what I mean? And to see a young youth like that so focused in such a corrupted industry, you have to give him respect. Him work, him build him house, him build him state of art studio at him house, and even though him studio at him house, him never yet get complacent and say, yo, John, no studio there. So him get up every day like I'm job. Him treat it like I'm job.
It is his,
it's his job. Him treat it like business. I'm job,
yes,
and
boss.
Him is very disciplined. So when I'm around a man like that, we're a millionaire in the US, and see him get up every day and go and work. Him go in the studio, record every single day. And music, Masicka do every single day. That's the only thing. Him not do nothing else. Me have to say, wow. You know what I mean? So that's why the whole work ethic come about, because Masicka work different. He's a very hard worker, you know what I mean? So learn a lot from the G, man. Learn a lot from the G, you know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Yeah, because as I said, I definitely see you guys. And when it comes to traveling, boss, Masicka is one of the most traveled artists right now in dancehall.
That man I done passport right through, man. Yeah, man. Remember I travel Masicka. One passport I done last year.
Last year?
Yeah, man. But then I know Thursday me leave for Europe again. So, Masicka we travel right through every week. You know what I mean? So that's one of the things, when you put in the work and you believe in it and you stay true to the craft, Masicka stay true to the craft. Enough of the young youth, them going to the studio and them spend 2 hours and them gone, because them have to pick up a girl at Ligania, them have to pick up a girl at Arbitrary, and them gone at Airbnb, them gone at hotel. You know what I mean? Them man the work right through. What they are Antigua and Morgan Heritage. We know the studio with Morgan Heritage and the Prime Minister. And Morgan Heritage tell us, say, yo, him son know to play 5 instruments. Him son practice 17 hours every single day. You know what I mean? So that goes to show, say, you have people who are serious about the craft. People don't know that. You know what I mean? So, and that's the type of work ethic Mr. Masicka do every single day. You know what I mean? So him deserve every glory, him deserve every success. I mean, I say just big up to Masicka, you know what I mean?
Masicka, excellent artist, great artist. But in the last, from about Sumfest, Masicka's been in a very funny, I don't know if it's funny situations or what, but this is what I will say though. Masicka is an amazing album artist. When it comes to putting out albums, he's great. 438, amazing body of work. Generation of Kings, amazing body of work. But I think that album, a lot of people missed the statement that Masicka was making from Generation of Kings. If you look on that album cover, there's several hands reaching for the crown, but the one that's the closest is the one with the ring finger. And anybody that knows Masicka knows that he has a ring on this finger all the time. And again, so I don't know why everybody is so surprised that this is what he's saying, this is where he's at now. He's been saying this. You understand?
Well, I can't speak for Masicka. And this is just my view. It's not the view of Masicka. Being around Masicka is just that ambitious person. And if you're doing something and you don't have a target, when you're doing a lab, anybody who do science, you have an aim. You see me? You have apparatus, you have method, you have discussion, you have conclusion. That's how you do a lab. So Masicka is the youth that were driven for greatness. So at the end of the day, if somebody has strived for the greatest thing that is up for offer or up for grab in an industry or in an organization, I don't see why you're fighting for that. You know what I mean? And him been working. That's the thing I'm trying to say. He been working. And him continue to work. So at the end of the day, just time will tell down.
For sure. Before even the cameras turned on, I said, listen, I have a lot of questions for Masicka. I know I'm going to get into it. It's right there. I have your number. I have Kaba's number. I mean, like on speed dial. That's a 1-2. It's just a matter of timing when he's really ready to sit down, whatever the case is.
Look out, my man.
You know what I mean? Many questions. But this is what I want to ask you, though, about Masicka. Whole situation jumped off with him and Tommy Lee. All right? Cartel's name got called up in it. To me, this is just my opinion. This was one of the few mistakes Masicka made in a while when it came to his career. If you have an album rolling out, I don't think jumping into a war, whether you thought it was an easy war or a hard war, would have been the best move right as the album is coming out. Because we know you're an album man. You put out great albums. Why did Masicka decide to really say, take on this war? Was it something that he sat down with you guys and said, this is what it was? He jumped to one day? What had happened there?
I mean, it's not even an album, it's an EP. He just wanted to, well, it was supposed to be the album December, but you don't know the whole hurricane and everything and the state of the music. And Masicka is a man who love the people. Him love poor people, and him heart goes out to the people that was affected by Hurricane Melissa. So him just decided that, I will just give the people a EP. And just, refocus, him creating foundation, him went and assist tremendously to the people who were affected. So that's number one. In regards to why him do the clash, when you see him, you'd have to ask him that. But Masicka is a man where you can't program him do what him feel like, So whatever decision he make in his career, him do it because him never go do it by force. Nobody at all can tell Masicka what to do in the tech program. So that question, him really have to answer that when you see him. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. But on one side,
to the landslide.
To the landslide.
Here, there. Okay, since we're in this land already, let's continue down this path. Nuffy ranting and raving about the Grammys and all of these stuff here. The winner for the reggae Grammys was what's his name again? Keznamdi. All right. Masicka did a big song with him too. I think Mavado was on the album too.
Yeah.
So, to the best of your knowledge, does Masicka get like a certificate for being on that project, or it's just a good look for the name of Masicka for a project, for being on a Grammy-winning project?
I think he will get a certificate. I think he contributes significantly to the album, but credit must be given to everybody who was nominated first and foremost. It's been a while that all Jamaicans really nominated for such a prestigious award. So everybody who was nominated, big respect. It's a great contribution to the music overall, you know what I mean? And I just think that the person who wins, we have to give him credit. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about it. You don't know a man's glory. You don't know a man's story. You see the glory, but you don't know his story. Kesnam's been working assiduously over the years, trying to get him foot in. Sleepless night, going on tour, coming off a tour without no money. Just a represent for the music and I try to get the brand reggae out there, you know what I mean? So when you see somebody reap the reward, my bro, you just have to just congratulate them and move on. There's a next time, you know what I mean? So me think that everybody was a winner on Sunday. I think that everybody was a winner. That's just my honest opinion.
Huh?
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
How are you and Nuffy right now?
Okay,
let me even, before you answer that, let me go even one step further. Okay, you know I'm the research man, right? Okay. I know as of this morning, Nuffy was following you, but you're not following Nuffy. Now answer the question.
Yeah, go on. Nuffy, I do him job, you know. And in the day, a man have to do what he has to do to get paid. You know, so I think, I look at it, if that's the way Nuffy get paid, he might do him thing. But for me, Nuffy is passionate. And I just think that he's passionate about his job. He's passionate about the people that help him. And for that, you can't wrong a man, you know what I mean? If speak up. But I think that with for a man that been in the game for such a long time, I think him don't think before him talk. You know what I mean? And I think in everything, there's a right way and there's a wrong way. You know what I mean? So I just think that him just need to take a step back, assess himself, and come again. You know what I mean? And forward again in the game. And as I say, a growth we are dealing. And Nuffy I do him thing and me I do my thing. And I think that's just how it is. He might follow me, I not follow him. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, as I said, where does that leave you guys? Are you guys good, not good, or it's just, what is it?
Yeah, we're not good. We're not good. We're not good. But as my professor showed me the game where I said, use peace, fight war, you know what I mean? So that's why I never knock him, you know? But for me, I'm just focusing on how am I going to make my family better right now. So Nuffy is really the least of the puzzle. And you know, even though something, I never hear Masicka talk about Nuffy yet. Trust me, anytime they run Masicka, anybody run the swamp, Masicka is a man protocol. The deposit reach it. Yeah, them send the deposit for the show yet. Who show we are going next? You know, protocol, we are shoot the video, yeah. These are the things that Masicka focus on. Me never hear him discuss nobody yet, bro. You know what I mean? Him just always a teach with the right thing. But in regards to Nuffy good man. You know what I mean? You see him turn selector now.
I seen the little shot you sent last night in the DMs.
Yeah, man.
In the stories.
No. But yeah, go on now. No, if him turn selector, I'm confused. Nuffy is a man confused. You see what I say? Him turn selector, you soon see him turn him soon turn gate man. Nuffy is just a man who don't know himself right now. Big man who don't know himself. But I mean all the best to Andre Nelson. You know, all the best, my G. Blessings.
You see, the trick with it is this. You see, because you're a professional and you walk a certain line, even if Masicka was talking certain things, you wouldn't bring it all here. I know that factually. So I wouldn't even ask you anymore. I know factually you wouldn't say anything more than whatever the case is.
If Masicka was talking, you'd hear it in a record. Or you'd hear Masicka come and say it. Masicka is a man, I'm going to tell you, him don't take program.
Masicka, I swear, didn't he
Masicka,
Nuffy in the, when he was clashing Tommy Lee? Nuffy pick up some card around there. There was, as I said, Proto, listen.
Remember Nuffy being a wash plate and still a wash plate, man.
You know what? I got it. As I said, I have a lot of questions for Masicka. And again, it's not these type of questions. There's a lot. But it was just that one in particular I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
You understand, was if you have an album rolling out, why do you think now would be the smartest time to really go into a war? And what your album is rolling out doesn't sound like nothing like what the war tune them. So it's a big contrast. So it will be kind of
The album will forward soon, man. Mostly it's just an EP. For show the fans the appreciation. You know, the fans them will appreciate him, but him work over the years. We support him. We come on the concert them all the time in the snow, in the rain, you know, in the sun. You know, him just wanted to, you know, say him dedicated to the females. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Very versatile. Extremely
you know what I mean?
versatile.
So, you know, people don't understand the difference between album and an EP. And the EP been doing well, still doing well. You know what I mean? And sometimes Masicka do sustainable music. And you can understand Masicka type of approach to music. See? So if you notice the body at work, you can listen on a Sunday, you can listen to any day of the week. You know what I mean? So that was his aim, to really sensitize the people and his fans, you know what I mean?
Because even if you look at Whites came out like I think it was October, November 2024.
Yeah.
They were arguing up to like this year if Whites was the song of 2025, and that came out in 2024. You understand? So then that goes to show how powerful that song is and what type of stuff he's presenting. He then run with Shensia, did 100 million views on YouTube. So I know when it comes to versatility, boss, Masicka.
That's him, definitely. And Whites was shooting in Toronto too.
Specs the boss and all that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He was in that.
You know what I mean? So him always a show Toronto love. Toronto always a show him love.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Moyann. This is right now. This is your manager now right now.
Yeah.
How did that even come about? Because I know she was with DJ Frost basically for most of her career. He was the one that really introduced her to the business and all that. So why did she decide to go with you? And what is it that you think you could show her that DJ Frost wasn't showing her? Or is it even that situation? What was the choice for Moyann to actually come to now Protocol Entertainment?
I mean, if you ask me, I have to big up DJ Frost. Because there's not a house without the foundation. So I think he would have contributed significantly towards Moyann's career. And why Moyann chose me and not working with me, that's, you know, when you see her, you have to ask her that. But I was introduced to Moyann by FD. You know what I mean? That's where the whole thing from. FD thought that I was the young one, you know, that has that energy and that knowledge that he's passing on to me to kind of bring her to the next stage. And I think 2026 is going to be a marvelous year for her. We have a lot in store right now. You know what I mean? But she believed in me from the onset, you know, that I can, you know, guide her. And that's what we're doing every day right now with us working on some quality music for the people. And also, you know, working on her leadership, you know, having her being a leader, having her understand the game, you know, and taking the time to evaluate the music properly, you know, and knowing the industry that you're in. So that's what we're doing right now. But we have a wicked rollout coming out, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. So thanks to Moyann for giving me the opportunity to lead her, and trust me, it will be marvelous. You know, the whole journey will be marvelous. So I'm excited for that.
Definitely, she has the image, she has the tone, she has the look, the sound, and everything. It's just now
work ethic
to get that song. You understand? Or those series of songs to really say, okay, I'm here now. Now let's go.
Yeah. And I think we have something working on right now that will shock the mass. You know what I mean? Her work ethics is good. She's very disciplined. She's listening, and I think those are the basic components that any artist, you know, that really want to break into the game big time. Once them have that, them good, and she have all that.
Work ethic is a major part. When it comes to this industry. Talent is cool, you know.
Yeah.
But you see, if you don't have the work ethic behind the talent, it doesn't make sense.
Definitely, my boss, man. Definitely, man. Big up Moyann. I'm say before big up Frost. You know what I mean? Me not really get into the whole thing. You know what I mean? I don't even know what the reason why. I may never ask, and she never tell me. I may not care for no. But just focus on what is at and now. And that's just who I am as a person, you know what I mean?
You know, if you ever decide to leave music, you know what job you need to get into? You need to be a politician.
Jado. I mean, I get that all the time. You know what I mean? Well, I was representing for the people. We take care of people every day.
Yeah, you know how to keep it. You know how to say what you're saying and just keep it to a level.
We learn from the best every day. You know what I mean? Junior Fraser, use peace, fight war.
Yeah, because Heavy D's been around a long time.
Every day I'm a
Sting
mentor.
Days and all of those stuff. I think the funny thing with it, I think the first time I seen Tommy Lee, he was actually with Heavy D up here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he was managing him for a bit. So Heavy D's been in the industry for a bit. So whatever he shows, he understands what he's talking
Every day talk every day. Every single day. And he has been a perfect reminder that it's possible. You know what I mean? Every day. And to have somebody like Every Day with that wealth of knowledge, you know, to show you the game and just to be positive to see you continue. So we use the scenario as from a cricket perspective to say, when it get rough, protocol, the fast bowler is coming with a new ball and is bowling at the right length. Just see through these overs. You get me, I say? Just see through these overs. Eventually, you're going to start to see the ball like a breadfruit. You know what I mean? And the runs will come. So it teach me patience. It teach me discipline in the game. And it's just a truth and rights man that does know to speak the truth. And I have to respect him for that, you know what I mean? I'm just want to use the platform to say big up Every Day, you know what I mean, at all times, you know what I mean?
For sure. 2026, what's next for Protocol Boss right now?
I mean, I leave on tour on Thursday, going Europe for a few weeks with Tony Mataran. And we have a series of show with Masicka this year. We're going all over the world.
I know he was supposed to do his birthday somewhere in Jamaica, but because of the hurricane, that all got scrapped.
Yeah.
In 2025. It was December.
Yeah. It was December. And we did something nice in St. Martin. You know what I mean? And you don't know, we have the One Side Invasion, which is my birthday party, April the 25th in Toronto, Canada. You know what I mean? Exclusive, I get to know. You know what I mean? Protocol. Protocol birthday party, you know what I mean? You know, it's called One Side Invasion. So look out, you never know who might be there, you know what I mean?
So it's one of those nights where you're advertising guests, or it's one of those nights where you gotta forward and see who's there type of thing.
Yes, forward and see who's there. And it's going to be a lot of people, you know what I mean? You know, everybody in the game most people in the game respect Protocol, you know what I mean? And love the work we do over the years. So a whole heap of artists are going to be there. A whole heap of celebrity is going to be there, you know what I mean? That just come into Toronto to represent for Protocol. So April the 5th, Toronto, Canada. You know what I mean? Protocol birthday party, you know what I mean? So it's called One Side Invasion.
One Side Invasion.
Yeah, man.
Interesting. Very interesting to see it.
Yeah, man, definitely, G, man. You know what I mean? But for the 26th, a lot of work, you know what I mean? We have a lot of songs, record and some production for me. You know what I mean? We have some song with the youth, and youth J Blunt, my youth that from New York. You know what I mean? The youth, they are youth we see the struggle and know the struggle too. And I want the youth when we don't really get the justice in the game. So I really want to put some focus and see how best we can give him the strength in the 2026, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You have some artists to look out for, like Mouse. You know what I mean? Moyann is going to have a good year, I can tell you that for sure. And you don't see Skipper having a fabulous year too, you see it? So dancehall is nice. It's in a space where it's just getting bigger and bigger, you know what I mean? But I just want to implore, and I mean I say it on the podcast from an artist perspective to every managers, promoters are crying. The fees are too much. So as an agent, I can tell you, bro, The fees are too much. You know what I mean? Be a little bit more considerate for the promoters. When you're going to have to pay the booking fee, the airplane, the flights rather, the hotel, the per diems, transportation, security. A lot of promoters don't make any money after the show. So may I appeal to all of my co-worker them, just be flexible, be considerate. So the music can grow. Because you notice no big show now keep again like one time. Financial crisis, you know what I mean? So it's the same thing. You know what I mean? And I say, just like when I represent for the promoters, I represent for the artists them too. Promoters, when you book an artist, if you know you only have the deposit and you can't find the rest of the money, do not book the artist. If you can't afford the artist, book an artist that you can afford. So keep a balance, right?
Yeah.
So I represent for both parties. You know what I mean? So that's also it is.
Makes sense. One last one I got for you. You're manager,
Yeah.
road manager,
Yeah.
booking agent, producer, and I'm pretty sure a couple other stuff in the mix. How do you balance that? Like, how do you wear so many hats without actually probably dropping a ball, or you might drop a ball or something, because they start to sometimes bleed into each other. So how do you keep like a clean face with wearing so many different hats in the business?
We focus. We have a team too. We have a secretary, we have an office that really keep things in track. You know what I mean? But when you're doing it for so long and you don't have the option, you have to just get it right. You don't have another choice. You know what I mean? You have to get this thing right. You realize you're doing it over and over every day. The family just connect. But I have an entire team that work assiduously every day to make sure that everything is right, because the game, you never know it too much. Every day you learn, and that's the thing, So you always see weird and strange scenarios every day. So that's one of the things. But it's just the mindset to do better every day, to take care of the family, to take care of the community, to contribute positively towards the music first and foremost. Keep me grounded, you know what I mean? To get it right. But yeah, man, it's a lot of work, bro. A lot of work.
Definitely.
Sometimes you even take away from your family.
You're working for your family, and therefore that means you have to be away
still
from
take
your
you
family.
away from your family, you know what I mean?
It's a vicious cycle.
Still take you away from and I mean, that's why even from a relationship standpoint, if your girl don't understand the task and knows your wife don't understand the task and knows channel, this is what he's doing, this is what he loves, this is his passion, give him the chance, it's going to be tough. That music, tough, you know what I mean?
I mean, music, they say music is a jealous. You have to give it all of your attention.
Yeah,
or it's going to strain you for something else. You understand?
Yeah, man, definitely. But overall, my bro, we're putting a lot of work in the music and still at work. We don't reach nowhere yet. I always tell myself that, So there's a lot of work still needed to be done, and that's what I do every day. You know what I mean? To contribute to this music here and just build on the legacy every day. You know what I mean? And if you notice, I live in Canada. I'm always up on the plane, but I never left out Toronto and the talents that Toronto possess. So you notice that I carry Sexy Shan, which is a house on the road. I still try to open doors for talent, and there's a lot more still to be done, because, for example, I see Isos, brilliant youth, and I promise him I'll take him on the road too. You know what I mean? Brilliant youth. I see a whole of youth, Tristan 5-star, great youth. You know what I mean? Kim Kelly.
The youth them shelling it right now is LTL.
Yeah, LTL. Yeah, I mean youth them that. Them have a song with even Moyann too. I brought Moyann to the studio when she was here, and they laid on a record. So them youth they great, and I gonna say whatever I can do to contribute, even advice, you know what I mean. If there's an opportunity on the road, I always I go incorporate somebody from Toronto, you know what I mean. Whether it's a selector, whether it's a host, and Sexy Shan now is like the crocodile host.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you'll see happen a lot of Masicka thing, you know what I mean? And big up to Lady Illy, as she really introduced me to Sexation, and ever since, me just love her work ethic, and I think she have a bright future, you know what I mean? So, me I try, if you say, what me I try, embrace the six, embrace the talent them, and contribute whatever I can, in whatever way, to push the genre and push the movement, you know what I mean?
What do you think we're missing in Toronto, Canada, on a bigger picture, to really nurture artists, to really push them to the world? What is it that we're missing here, infrastructure wise?
There's a lot of studios here now. I think we need to form a union. I think Toronto needs a union. Not only Toronto, but the diaspora overall. Like you have Toronto dancehall, you have UK dancehall. I'm go UK is the same thing. The artists them there, and international artists come there every week, every month, making millions. And the artists there with so much talent can pull so much people. You know, have big song too, and now get the bus. And I think it's really structuring, because here you have an artist go to the dance hall, for example. I'm not cut your question, but go to dance hall and them, you see them walk around everywhere in the party. You have to understand what it's like to be a star and act like that. Not because they are Toronto mean that you're supposed to be at every party. You have to sacrifice and have that level of discipline for understand. So, yo, bro, yeah, me the Toronto, yes, a Toronto dancer, but me deal with a career now that requires me to stay away a little bit, focus on the music, push it out, go there, go to Jamaica, go to an island, put the work in. Trust me, bro. You know, and we in a space where we don't fight against each other and all these things. So I just think with unity, with a proper union, you know, it's endless, because a whole heap of talent there, bro. A whole heap of talent there. Like some superstar there in Canada right now. Wait, may I tell you?
This is, okay, dancehall wise, we have big artists doing their stuff. But look at when it comes to mainstream, remember, this is Drake, Tory Lanez,
Yes, man.
Weekend, Justin Bieber.
Yeah,
and the
man,
list
so what
goes
is happening?
on and on, boss.
You know what I mean? So the message to you say, the artists them need hunger too. Because you have to sit down and say, boy, I not have that muscle. Me a man take up my bag and go to Europe, not have $1. Come back, not have $1. But the contribution that I made to the music was so significant that I know the next time I go to Europe, I go have money. So sometimes that level of hunger, I don't really see it in a lot of the talents them. And that's just the honest truth. So this is just a motivation to say, youth, just get the little hunger there, go out there. Don't sit at Toronto and wait for the glory. You're not going to get it. Go out there, work hard, and may I tell you, everything will work out. You get me? I say take muscle.
Right there.
Yeah, man. So, you know, it's possible. I may I say, I carry a couple of youth them on the road from Toronto. I like Isaac's attitude. I like him act like a star. You know what I mean?
He has the
like
attributes.
Yeah, he has the attribute of being a star. I mean, I tell you, say, you know, Tristan 5 Star is one of them youth that will get world per fight too, but him full of talent.
Wicked artist.
Wicked artist, you know what I mean? I like K music too. Me dip on the road, I'm still tune in and try for, you know what I mean? But as I said, a lot of them, you see, the thing about it too, Canada is a place where about bills. So, them I do the music and still have to go work. Still probably have a child at home to come back home to after daycare, after school. So it's kind of difficult, my brother, you know what I mean? But trust me, if you love it, you have to just make the sacrifice. And I just beg the artists in Toronto to get look more determination, look more hunger. You know what I mean? Instead of go Jamaica, for go Canada, for go Ray, no disrespect to Canada, to nothing. Rent a Airbnb, rent a room, go sleep on some studio couch. You know what I mean? Push yourself. You know what I mean? It will happen. Enough of them do it, and may implore the selector, them play the music, give them a chance. You know what I mean? Work hand in hand, make the thing work.
Make it work.
You know what I mean? But big up every talent that is trying in Toronto and in the diaspora. UK is the same thing, it's the same cry. I go UK is the same cry. I go New York is the same cry. You know what I mean? But one day. Muscle,
day.
you know what I mean? And I love the platform. I love what you're doing for the culture. You know what I mean? And it's just a pleasure to sit down with you and just have them type of reason. And it's come like it's like an interview, it's like a reason, you know what I mean? So
Of course, 'cause as I said,
it's
you
the
brought
jive, bro.
many artists here for me to sit down and link with. Many times we're sitting out here, you're in the corner over there. You understand? Sitting down in the corner over there. I said, you know what? Thinking we've been linking. Linked you. I called you last week. He said,
Yeah.
no, I sent you a message. He said, yo, I'm in Africa right now, but as soon as I touch in, I'm going to link you. As soon as you touch in, you link.
Yeah,
we set the date, the time. And
Yeah,
here you
man.
are now.
Definitely, man. Definitely, my G, man. And as I say, it's a pleasure. And, you know, normally we just silent and just do the work. But after a while, when you get a youth and you realize the industry you're in, you just have to speak up and express yourself in the most respectful way as to your journey and, you know, what you intend to do moving forward, you know what I mean? So, as I say, so far, big up everybody, even person who be doing call in the interview, big up everybody who would have contributed to my thing in one way or the other, you know what I mean? And continue to do so, you know what I mean? Because I couldn't do it alone. Still can't do it alone, you know what I mean? So, big up everybody, big up every artist that give me a chance to, you know what I mean? And just looking forward for a successful year and beyond, you know?
For sure.
Yeah, man, but
Leave some social media number, phone number, anything. Leave some contacts where they could check you out if they want to link you for bookings, production. Hey, if they might want you to manage them, some whatever. Leave some contacts right now. The floor is yours before I get you out of here.
yeah, protocol_boss on IG, you know what I mean? Once you reach there and connect in the DM, you get to me, you know what I mean? Protocol_boss, you know what I mean? And I'm going to tell you them, say crime is not the way, you know what I mean? Focus, be positive, and contribute, you know, to society every day in the most positive way, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. And just learn to separate your identity from your experience fairly, you know what I mean? That's one of the biggest things I want to tell everybody that is watching this platform right now. You don't know. We'll go through it, muscle, you know what I mean? We'll go through it. We'll go through depression and music. We'll go through hungry days, you know what I mean? We lose a relationship through music. There's so much we lose, but we still stay true to the game because this is what we love. And we're doing it now and we're doing it big, you know what I mean? So big respect to everybody again who contribute to my success and continue to contribute to it. I don't know. More work and more blessing. One side to the land side ain't no other. Big up Toronto, big up the whole diaspora, you know what I mean? Muscle, entertainment podcast, you know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Bam. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Muscle, and this has been another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast, and we are out.
Yeah, man, give thanks.
This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinemusichut.com.